good morning. Next, we are moving to the fourth part of this Drugs and Cosmetics Act, that is manufacture and sale of drugs and as well as cosmetics. First of all, we will see about the drugs and later we will see about the cosmetics. Manufacture of drugs. Manufacture of drugs is a blend of art and science to be achieved strictly in accordance with the provisions of good manufacturing practice. The licenses required for the manufacturing is categorized into several ways. One, it is manufacturing of the drugs belongs to Schedule CC1. Manufacturing of drugs belongs to Schedule X. Manufacturing of drugs belongs to Schedule C, C1 and X. Manufacturing of drugs other than the Schedule C, C1 and X. Manufacturing of drugs for examination, test or analysis. Loan licenses and license for repacking. So there are certain type of drugs and cosmetics that are prohibited towards the manufacturing and sale. First we will see about the drugs. These prohibitions are going to be fixed by means of the state government by notification in the official gazette in this behalf, and no person shall himself or by any other person on his behalf manufacture for sale or for distribution or sell or stock or exhibit or offer for sale or distribute any drug which is not of standard quality or misbranded, adulterated or spurious. Any patent or proprietary medicine which label or container does not display true formula or list of active ingredients contained in it together with the quantities thereof. Any drug which by means of any statement, design or device claims to prevent, cure or mitigate any disease or ailment. Any drug in contravention of any of the provisions of this chapter or any rule made under this Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Any drug which has been imported or manufactured in contravention of any of the provisions of this Act or any rule made thereunder according to this Drugs and Cosmetics Act, they're all prohibited towards the manufacture and sale of the drugs. First of all, we are going to see what are the licenses that are required for manufacturing of drugs other than Schedule CC1. So the application grant for schedule is other than Schedule CC1 drugs or renewal is made in the Form 24. The license is issued by means of the licensing authority in this form only. The conditions for grant of license are as follows. There must be a competent staff. The first one, it is competent staff. The staff are a graduate in pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry with a minimum 18 months of experience after graduation, and the duration may be reduced by 6 months if the applicant has undergone training during the graduation, or otherwise a graduate in science with chemistry as the principal subject and 3 years of manufacturing experience after graduation, or a graduate in chemical engineering or chemical technology or medicine with 3 years of experience in the manufacturing after graduation, or otherwise he has to hold an equivalent foreign qualification according to this Drugs and Cosmetics Act. The second one, the premises of the factory. The factory premises must be as per Schedule M with regard to premises, space, plant and as well as the equipment. And there must be separate facilities for analysis of raw materials and finished formulation. The applicant shall provide and maintain adequate staff, premises and laboratory equipment for carrying out tests of the strength, quality, purity of the substance as a testing unit which shall be separate from the manufacturing unit, and the head of the testing unit shall be independent of the head of the manufacturing unit, and there should be adequate arrangement for storage of raw materials and as well as the finished products. While applying for license to manufacture patent or proprietary medicine, it is required to submit evidence justifying therapeutic claims of the product, its stability and as well as the safety. And the duration of the license, it is for about 5 years from the date on which it is granted or renewed. And coming to this manufacture of drugs under Schedule C, C1 and drugs specified under Schedule C, C1 and X. The application is going to be granted for renewal of license is made for Schedule C, C1 drugs, it is in Form 27, whereas for Schedule C, C1 and X in the Form 27B. The license is issued in Form 28 for manufacturing of Schedule CC1 drugs and in Form 28B for drugs under Schedule CC1 and X. The conditions specified in Schedule M should met with the requirement of space, plant, equipment, etc. The testing strength and or quality strength of the manufacturing unit should be assessed. There should be facilities available for storage of the drugs. Sufficient precaution should be taken for preserving the properties of manufactured drugs. Records of manufacturing should be maintained as per Schedule U, and records of test, analysis and examination and batch-wise records are required to be maintained, and all records should be kept for a period of 2 years from the date of expiry of the drugs. In other case, with no expiry date, the records should be kept for about 5 years from the date of manufacturing. The competent technical staff person should be available with one of the following qualification. He must be a graduate in pharmacy, pharmaceutical chemistry with a minimum 18 months of experience in manufacturing of the drugs, or otherwise 6 months of mandatory training after graduation. A graduate in science with chemistry or microbiology as major subject with a minimum of 3 years of experience in the manufacturing of drugs to which this license appeals. A foreign equivalent qualification or an expert in manufacturing before 29 June 1957. For manufacture of veterinary formulation, a graduate in medicine or veterinary science or general science or pharmacy with minimum 3 years of experience in manufacturing of biological products. The manufacturer should allow the inspector or the respective of controlling authority and licensing authority to visit manufacturing premises with or without notice. The manufacturer should report to the licensing authority any changes in staff or any material changes. The license should furnish the samples of drugs to the inspector when asked for the purpose of analysis. The license should maintain the inspection book. The licensee should maintain the inspection book to enable the inspector to record his observations. And coming to the loan license, a person who does not have his own arrangements for manufacture but who wish to utilize the manufacturing facilities owned by another licensee, such licenses are called loan licenses. And the fee for loan license, it is 6,000 rupees, and as well as for inspection extra for 1,500, and all the conditions must be according to GMP. The manufacturing records should be maintained for a period of 5 years in case of drugs with the date of expiry, and the record should be maintained for about 2 years. The loan licensee are issued for drugs other than specified in Schedule C, C1 and X, and drugs specified in Schedule C and C1. Repacking license. The process of breaking up of any drug from a bulk container into small packages and labeling with a view to their sale and distribution. It is known as repacking license. Repacking of drugs is granted of drugs other than Schedule C1 and X. There should be adequate arrangements for testing of these samples. The license should always be displaced at the premises of repacking. The factory premises for repacking should comply with the provisions of the Schedule M. The competent persons eligible to get repacking license are diploma in pharmacy or registered pharmacist, intermediate with chemistry as the main subject, matriculation with 4 years of experience in manufacturing, dispensing or repacking of the drugs. The license, it is valid for 1 year, and for every 31st December it is going to be invalid, required to be renewed. The container or a package of repacked drug should bear on its label, that is repacking license number. And coming to the sale of the drugs, the state government shall appoint licensing authorities for the purpose of this part, and it is going to be issued in Form 19 accompanied by means of this fee of 1,500, and along with that 500 rupees of extra fee in case of the Schedule X drugs. A fee of 150 shall be paid for obtaining a duplicate copy of license if the original is damaged or lost. The application should be renewal for a license after its expiry, but within 6 months of such expiry shall be accompanied by a fee of 1500 plus additional fee at the rate of rupees 500 per month or part thereof in Form 19. And coming to the offences and penalties, in case of any adulterated or spurious drug is going to be prepared, then the person is going to have not less than 10 years of imprisonment and 10 lakhs of rupees of a fine is going to be imposed. Any drug deemed to be adulterated but not causing harm to the person, or without a valid license, such manufacturing is going to get happening, then 3 years of imprisonment, it may extend to 5 years, and the fine it is up to 1 lakh rupees. Sometimes depending upon the confiscation, it may be 3 times of that 1 lakh. Any drug deemed to be spurious but not likely to cause such harm on his body as would amount be grievous hurt shall be punishable with the imprisonment not less than 7 years and may be extendable up to life, and which shall not be less than 3 lakhs rupees, and 3 times value of drugs confiscation is going to be imposed. Any drug in contravention of any other provisions of this chapter or Drugs and Cosmetics Act, then punishable with the imprisonment of 1 year and rupees 20,000 rupees fine. Any cosmetic is going to be prepared, manufactured or sold in contravention to this act, then the same punishment will be there, 1 year of imprisonment and 20,000 rupees fine. Any cosmetic deemed to be spurious or adulterated, then the imprisonment will be 3 years and the fine will be 50,000, and sometimes depending upon the confiscation it may be 3 times more than that. Penalty for non-disclosure of name of the manufacturer, it is 1 year imprisonment and 20,000 rupees of fine or both. And the penalty for not keeping the documents properly or for non-disclosure of this information, it is around 1 year imprisonment and 20,000 rupees of fine. And penalty for manufacture, etc. of the drugs or cosmetics whose manufacture, sale, etc. prohibited in the public interest, then 3 years of imprisonment and 5,000 rupees fine is going to be imposed. And the penalty for use of government analyst report for advertisement, then the rupees 500 rupees is going to be imposed as a fine for the first conviction. And coming to the manufacturing of the cosmetics, there is no need of this license for the so there is a need of license for the manufacturing of the cosmetics also. And for this cosmetics licensing, we have to pay minimum rupee of 100 to maximum 3,000 for each application. A person applies for the renewal, in that case we have to pay about 2,500 plus additional fee at a rate of 400 per month or part thereof, in addition with the inspection charges, that is 1,000 rupees extra. In case of damage or loss or getting the duplicate copy, same as like that is 250 rupees we have to pay. And this licensing period is also 1 month duration, and it extends up to 31st December of every year. And here also for cosmetics, the loan license can be available, and the fee of loan license is 2,500 for application, and for inspection 1,000 rupees extra. And sale of cosmetics, license for sale of cosmetics is not required, and these are certain type of cosmetics which are prohibited towards the manufacturing and sale, like misbranded, spurious, adulterated and substandard cosmetics, cosmetics containing an ingredient which may be rendered it's unsafe for use, cosmetics containing hexachlorophene, cosmetics containing coal tar colors other than those which are prescribed, cosmetics containing mercury compounds, cosmetics which are colored with it of arsenic and lead compounds, and the cosmetics whose import is prohibited under the provisions of this act. These cosmetics are prevented towards the manufacturing and sale of this sale.